Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Do you guys look for simplicity or some at ease for your camping and car living? Well, today I have a few of those items that I would like to share with you what I use. And they're a minimalist, but they're great. I'm really happy with them. So let me share with you what I have and what I use. And the main starter, which is mainly one right in front, which takes care of a lot of this stuff right in front of me, is this guy, my EcoFlow 1000. Guys, this thing's great. This runs flawless for my electric blanket, which will use about 200 watts for the winter months. And then for the summer months, I use this fan. This little guy right here. He uses about, I think like 15 watts. Yeah, 15 watts in about 4 hours, which is really good as well. And then another thing, what this EcoFlow runs is my hotspot, which hardly draws anything. But over the course of time, within probably 3 to 4 days of the fan, it takes about an hour to charge back up. And I'm usually down to 70%. And then I find a place where I need to go and plug in. That way I like to keep it topped off. Because I don't know exactly where I'm going to be for when it comes time to charging it. Because where I do normally charge my EcoFlow, there's usually somebody over there, and it's in the park. And nobody ever says anything about it, and I like it. Of course, the park officials, they're really generous. And I'm not the only one that goes over there. I usually stay around there during the day, and then I go to my spot and go sleep at night. Also, guys, what I use is this USB powered, it's a thermos, but I call it the water heater. And it's not a water heater by any means. It's a coffee maker, tea maker, but it heats up water. In about 2 minutes, I can have fresh oatmeal, and I'm golden. I'm set. And that's mainly the only reason why I use this is for my oatmeal. And then, of course, the lid goes on. Maybe. If I get it. There we go. Sorry, guys. And then it just pours right out. It's easy to clean. And then to power it is 12 volt. So it plugs on the back of this unit. The 12 volt is in the back. And then there's 110 outlets. And then here on the front is my USB-C and my USBs. And it's run through an app as well to knowing how much energy is going out versus, and then how much energy is coming in. Guys, this EcoFlow is phenomenal. I'm really happy with it. I have looked at Jackery. I'm not knocking them. There's a few others out there. But the biggest bang for my buck at the time that I needed, I went with this. Because this thing runs and it charges my laptop, my gaming laptop, and my MacBook, my iPads, my iPad mini, my cell phone, and then to run my hotspot as well. And then during a week, I'm probably down to 50%. And then the more you use, it does pull. So, and I try to be mindful of that, which is a good thing, because I don't want to deplete this, and then it's going to take me like 2 to 3 hours while I'm sitting around there waiting at the park, wait for it to charge. Now, the good thing about this, it does charge by 12 volt. And then there's a plug in the back, which I turned it the wrong way. I wanted to show you guys. And I am going to show you guys. That way you know. Orange plug, 12 volt. This thing, it'll run a coffee maker, not long, but it will run it for you. And then I can hook up my solar panels to it, which I do have a few solar panels. I haven't hooked them up yet. I'm still on the fence about doing that, whether I'm going to hook it on the Blazer or I'm going to wait for when I get my 4Runner, which is probably the latter of the second one. I'm going to wait before I get the 4Runner and then do a full build electrical on it, and then have this in there with me, and then have my fridge. Guys, this EcoFlow is great. It is great. And then this USB-C fan plugs right in the back, or it can be run by 12 volt, which the plug shorted out. I ended up throwing it away. So I went strictly USB-C, and I run it right into here, and I'm great. This thing does have a battery in it. It doesn't last long. It is pitiful. But if you run it straight into your power unit, you'll never know the difference. It's great. It really is. And then my cup, which just sits, it's funny. It just sits like that, and it stows away for me. And I got a couple handles. I don't know why they would put handles on this or why I got it, but mainly it's comfort. If I use it for heating, which I can. And then another great unit I have, my battery jumper. Now I don't use it, and the only reason why I don't use it, and if I have to use it, I'm using it for somebody else. Because me personally, I will buy a battery every year and a half, because here in the last couple of years it's getting really cold, and I'm not going to take that chance to be having a dead battery. So I have this to help somebody else, and this will jump them no problem. I don't know the wattage on it, but I know it's strong, and it does have two USB-Cs, or two USBs, I'm sorry, and then a light. Now I do carry a flashlight with me, along with multi-tool, and then a few other things. But mainly I try to make sure I keep up on the car way before winter. I'm prepared. And if something major is going to go in the garage, well, then that's just going to be out of my hands. But this plug here will plug in through here, and then it just goes right on your terminals, and then you're golden. You're good to go. This thing is really good. Before I started living out of my vehicle, I had this with me, and I never had to use it much, but at the time I did have to use it, it was great. It did. It was a saver, and I was glad I had it. And then my one other piece that I have is vent shades. Being I work third shift, I like to keep the darkness out. These things are great. Have the silver on the outside, have the black on the end, and it keeps it nice and dark. And then around the rest of my windows, I use Reflectix. So in the winter months, Reflectix it's okay. It keeps the heat in during the summer months. That I don't care much for, but you can't do nothing about it. It's mainly darkening barrier. I haven't done cardboard. I just mainly leave it up there for an all year thing, mainly for the winter months. And Reflectix in the winter months, guys, it is top notch. It keeps your heat in, and then it keeps the light out. And then it keeps some cold out, depending on how insulated that your vehicle is. Mine, it's insulated pretty good. It's not the greatest, but it does do well. And then it gives me a complete dark barrier, and I'm good all the way around. Guys, this EcoFlow will also, it will run. This is my number one where I need to go for anything. This is my number one baby. I'm happy with it, extremely. Guys, if you found this to be helpful, leave me a comment. If it hasn't been helpful, leave me a comment. Leave me a like button or leave me a dislike. If there's something on here that you did not like, let me know. I'll take it with criticism, That way to make you guys happy, and then I'll make sure it does something better to help you out in the future to earn that from you, because this is what I'm all about, is earning your trust and serving you. I've said it so many times. I meant it. I'm not going to stop saying it. Guys, also, I want to give a shout out to my latest subscriber who joined the community with us. His name's Mel. Thank you, Mel, for joining. And then also, I'm sure once we get big enough, I will put a page for who all my local subscribers are. At least I'll try. Guys, I want to thank you for joining me. This week has been a really good week. It's been a more striving week, and it's more. I've had a huge push to get stuff out to you, and I'm grateful. I want to say thank you. Thank you to you who always watching my stuff. Nobody has said anything that, Kev, you're crappy, or you need to work on this, and I already know. I'm working on it. I am. I'm working on it. I'm trying, because I'm 58 years old, guys. Gotta give me a little bit of a break. But that's not an excuse. It's not. So, guys, thank you. And I hope you guys have a great week. And I will see you in the next video. You do not work.